Hey everyone, Coach Wheeler. I'm the hurdles coach at Indiana Tech, and I just wanted to put together a really quick video of one of my athletes and working on their crossing mechanics. So I've got this video ready to go for us, and the angle is going to be straightforward. Unfortunately, I don't have a side angle, so some of the things I might be saying you might not be able to see, but I'll try to be as specific as I can on letting you guys know where we're at with positioning. I'm going to talk about a couple of the really good things that she does, and then we're going to go back and kind of cover some of the stuff that she needed to work on. And as you watch the video and see it, there's some glaring issues that you can see that are going on, and it's just because of one small mistake that she was making. So let's get this flipped over for you, and we'll get the video rolling. Um, First thing I want to talk about on the positive side is going to be her hand placement or her arm placement. So she does a really good job of getting that wrap arm in front of the face and then pulling down into the trail leg. The freeze side, which is going to be the opposite side of the wrap arm, freezes at the hip and then punches back up. What I want to do here is kind of talk about specifically what I'm looking for and what I'm looking at. Uh, Wrap arm is up here at the face. She pulls down into the trail leg, so that angle from her wrist to her elbow to her shoulder opens. And as she opens it, she pulls down with the wrist into the trail leg. And I really, really like that. That's really pretty right there. This movement right here. The other side of it is going to be her freeze side, and the freeze side is the opposite of the wrap arm. And what reason why I call it a freeze side is because I want it to freeze at the hip. I don't want that hand to go any further past the hip. Really specific reason why I do that, and that's for another video. But I'm going to have her freeze it at the hip, and then she punches back up when her hips cross. So, and the reason why it's important that she's punching back up is it forces that trail leg to snap through. And again, I really like that. So what we call it is pulling and punching on top. And I can kind of speed it up here again for you. You can take a look at it, and you can see what I'm saying. So wrap arm, free side, pull and punch. Wrap arm, free side, pull and punch. Wrap arm, free side, pull and punch. And she does a really, really good job at that. Now, I know that it's pretty glaring that, we're talking about, a lot of these things, but the most important thing that you can see is she's way over rotated on top of the hurdle. One. Secondly, her hips are flying. She's way too high. Hip height is way too high on that. And then the third thing you can see off of that is she has to wrap her foot around the hurdle almost. Her shin angle right there is way, way too far to the outside. Ideally, I want her knee to go straight to the hurdle, and then just a cast of the tubular aspect, which is the lower part of the leg. So it's just heel to the hurdle at that point. And there's a very specific reason why all of these things are happening, and the issue is she's just too close to the hurdle. She hasn't quite developed a effective chop step yet, and a chop step would eliminate 99% of what's happening on top. Because I know her crossing mechanics are very efficient, but she's losing so much speed. Watch this. This foot coming down at this point is in front of her hips, and you can see her reaching out a little bit there, and it's in front of her hips, and then it causes her, because she's so close, to try to drive the hips up over the top of the hurdle, and that's why she's floating, and then at the same time wrapping that leg around. And when she does that, it forces an over rotation of her upper body. I want her shoulders to be parallel with the stick or the hurdle itself. And fortunately for her, she's strong enough that when she comes off of the hurdle, she recovers from it pretty nicely. But still, she's losing a ton of time, and you can see in this, when she steps here, again, it's too far in front of her hips. There's a slight she's trying to keep her hips low and she's forcing herself down, but still, again, with being so far in front, she can do nothing but try to get her hips over the top, and that's why that's happening up top. So I will go back and let you watch it through. Now, in a coaching cue for me, what I would actually tell her, if she was too close to the first hurdle and not the other hurdles, that's just telling me that her setup is incorrect when she's pushing out to get to the hurdle. If she was starting out of the blocks, it's definitely a chop step issue. But since she's not, I'm just gonna tell her to move back a shoe, and that should take care of that distance. As long as she has the same pushes the whole way through. But as you can see in the video here, watching through it, she is too close here, and then she's too close on 2 and driving over the top, and then too close on 3 and then lifting over the top the same way on all 3. So that's just telling me right away that we need to start working and developing a chop step. So, and a chop step is just a short step to the first step before you cross the hurdle. It's not a normal sprint step where you're driving over the top of the knee and then driving down under the hip. So that's kind of where we're at with that, and hopefully this helps some of you out. And if any of you hurdlers or coaches have any questions, just reach out to me on the website, and I'll be more than willing to jump on and see if I can help answer some of your questions. All right, thanks.